The Ethereum rainbow chart has given us some very bullish numbers for 2024. So in this video, we're going to cover these predictions as well as give you my Ethereum price prediction for this upcoming bull run. All right, let's dive right into it, everybody. After threading above the $3,000 mark for most of the year and even briefly surpassing $4,000, Ethereum has been hit by a recent drawback as its price fell below $3,000 just earlier last week. Now, if you can see right here in the charts, we're looking at the 4-hour on Ethereum, and you can see we're in a nice little range, and then we fell below, and now the bears look like they're in control, even knocking us down below a second time. But when you go into the daily, you can see we never actually closed a daily below. We only wick, so we're still technically within this range. Now, we did lose support here. You can see this yellow line. This started all the way back until October 2023. You can see that we bounced off of it in January. You can see that we bounced off of it in May, and then we finally crashed below. Now it is actually acting as resistance, actually suppressing Ethereum's price as we speak. So let's go back into this article here. They got some insane price predictions. Now, despite this, ETH is in the green so far for 2024. It is still up 30% year to date. Folks, the best is ahead of us. Ethereum might have some fireworks in its near term. The Ethereum rainbow chart, which employs a logarithmic growth curve to reflect the sentiment across different price points, can provide essential insights into its future movements here. Now, this is the Ethereum rainbow chart, and you can see last cycle, we didn't even get into the parabolic mania zone. This cycle, well, I'm predicting probably going to look kind of similar. I don't know if we're going to be able to touch the top like we did about 6-7 years ago. Now, when it comes to the price prediction, though, they're giving us a price prediction for the end of the year. Now, the rainbow chart is looking at the historical performance within the context of market sentiment and gives us a little bit of foresight into the price here. Now, if we drop below $1,000 by the end of this year, the bull market is over. The crypto winter is here. That's almost a 0% chance. Now, obviously, nothing 0% chance, but to me, very, very low odds that happens. Now, conversely, trading above almost $9,000 would indicate Ethereum is entering the bubble territory with consistent closes above 12,000, almost confirming an impending major correction. So if we get in this 9 to 12K range, that's when you're expecting a huge, huge market correction to the downside. But we're in what I would say the hodl zone, the safe zone right now. It's shown we're most stable if we remain within this zone. This is going to be around $2,900 to $4,200. It would still be relatively stable between $4,200 and $6,000. That is the flippening range, although you should remain cautious. Now let's get into the charts here. This is something really, really bullish. This is what I would call the pre-ETH ETF pump. Big shout out to Flawless for finding this one. Now this is on the left side, Bitcoin right before the approval. Now, this is these candles right here, right around the ETF approval. And you can see, look at the similarities to this right here. Now, the red pink lines, this is Bitcoin overlaid, and it is almost a one-for-one match, potentially setting up a pre-ETH ETF pump. So this is the pre-Bitcoin ETF pump. Are we right now in the pre-ETH ETF pump? The chart's looking very, very similar, folks. Now, we also have a trend line that is kind of stopping us, and now Ethereum does want the bullish breakout. Now, you can see we do want a bullish breakout. They had a rejection at the red trend line, but the pullback was very weak. This is important. You know, the pullbacks looking a little bit stronger, finding that strong support that we hit in the past, and now, you know, maybe, coiling and getting higher and higher, pushing against the ceiling. And you can see that's when we wicked above, that's when we wicked below, and we're getting closer and closer to breaking through to the upside. But what happens if we break through to the upside, folks? Well, this is the parallel channel that we need to get out of, and I would expect maybe something similar to this pump that we saw right there. We ended up seeing a very, very quick, about 40% pump in about 2 weeks. And so if we were to get a 40% pump from the bottoms, that's putting us right under a $4,000 Ethereum, which Ethereum does like to, maybe reject off those zones. And it's done it in the past, might do it again. And then if, we do come in right around that range, it's going to give us, maybe a pretty good trend line right here. So, maybe right around this $3,800, $3,900 is where I expect, some first resistance. Now, into the charts, there's something else I really need to show you, and that's going to be the Fibonacci. The Fibonacci is looking quite bullish, everybody. Now, we take the swing high all the way down to the swing low, and you notice that we've been trading and respecting these ranges quite well. We bounced off the 0.5. And last time we used the 0.5 as support, pretty quick movement to the upside. So, if we can sustain the support, I predict, if we don't breach at the 786, going all the way back up, getting close to that $3,900 range. But if it does break to the downside, I would expect a lot of support around this $2,500 range. Not only is it, a good psychological level, but it's also bouncing right off the 382 right there. But I said I would give you my Ethereum price prediction for this cycle. Well, to determine that, we're going to be using Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETH trading pair. Now, this is the ETH Bitcoin trading pair here, and this is the value of Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. You can see at one point, we were, flirting around this 8% range. At one point, even as high as 15% of one Bitcoin, where each Ethereum equaled 15%. Well, this is a little bit of a trend line moving to the downside, but I'm not too worried about it because we did print some bullish divergence. So we can see the RSI moving up as the price of ETH compared to Bitcoin was moving down, signaling to me we're going to break above this trend line to the downside. So if we break above the trend line, where does DZ expect us to stop? Well, that's going to be this point of control right here, and this is how we're going to determine ETH's price for this upcoming bull run. Within this little range here, you can see, we bounced to as high as right under 9%, right there around 8%, so about 8 to 9%. So I found a little range in the middle, 8 point something there, and we're going to use this to determine the price. So I pulled this up. If Bitcoin hits $120,000 and ETH's percentage of Bitcoin equals about 8,362, that's about where we hit last time. You can see that's about roughly where we were last time. So if we hit roughly about 8.5% with $120,000 Bitcoin, that gives us a $10,000 Ethereum. But this is where it gets really crazy, folks. Imagine we hit, let's just say, 200, maybe too bullish, so we'll say $180,000 Bitcoin. Well, folks, that gives us a $15,000 Ethereum. But what is my actual target? I think we're going to hit around 140 when we have that ETH equaling about 8.5%, and that gives us an $11,000 Ethereum. So that is DZ's high side target for Ethereum. I don't know if we can break through the psychological level of 10,000, but this is my bull case target to the upside, a little bit below $12,000 for each Ether. I would love to see a $12,000 Ethereum. If you would love to see that as well, make sure you hit that like button, and hopefully I'll see you in your diamond-handed Ethereum bags at the top.